What is going on, guys? It's Adam, a.k.a. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News, the only live call-in show somewhere. Tonight's show is going to be a little bit different, and we are talking about some serious stuff. So if you're not tuned in yet, you better get there. We'll be right back. Man, oh man, is it getting crazy out here. First off, if you've never been here before, my name is Adam, aka Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. We also have a main channel, Marfoogle News, which is at 154,000, just hit this morning on YouTube, and a backup channel, which you will most likely be watching this on, Marfoogle TV, which is at 112,000, which it just hit this morning. So thank you guys and welcome all the new viewers. And then, of course, we have our DLive family, which is about to hit 15,000. Another milestone just today or tonight is 14,000 followers on Twitter. So thank you guys. That's where we put out a lot of our notifications, and that's where I put a lot of my opinions that are any way biased. Because this show is not supposed to be biased. In fact, I'm not trying to convince you of anything here. In fact, anything we say here, we make sure to back it up with an article or some sort of source or some sort of bibliography. In fact, if you guys go to our website, which you can easily go to marfooglenews.com, you will actually see that we have it organized by thumbnail. So if you want to get to any of the articles that we cover here tonight, all you'll have to do is go to this thumbnail on the website. And once you click that, you will actually get a whole list of articles that we used here tonight, and it is absolutely insane. I'll just say it right now. It is to the point where even completely sleeping people are not only waking up, but are, calling their family members they've never called before, or called in 10 years. People are saying, I love you guys to each other and making up with friends. Because by the look of it, I'm sorry, but even the most astute atheist right now is probably secretly going in the bedroom and praying right now, because there is just so much craziness. We just had a 6.5 in Idaho. A 6.5. Idaho is not California. This is not a place where they have earthquakes all the time. In fact, it is very strange. While we're on the subject, though, Dex, who normally does the screening, he's going to be popping in and out. We are not. It is a late start tonight. We are actually late tonight because we were trying to upgrade the phone system. The phones are down right now. So we will have phones tomorrow. And there is possibly going to be a surprise in the next couple days that we're going to let you guys know about. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Dex, are you there? And can you do a sound check for me real quick?
Hello, Adam. I am here, and hello, Foogle fam.
So after the 6.5, of course, there was, you had kind of a list of earthquakes that have happened since, right? It was.
Yeah, there's been quite a few. The list is long. You normally you do have some aftershocks, but this list was quite a bit. So I'm looking here at Idaho. When there was a 6.5, these are all of the earthquakes in just Idaho after it. We have a 3.6, a 4.6, a 3.4, a 3.1, a 3.5, a 3.3, a 3.2, a 3.1, a 3.3. I think we're heading down now, but no, we're 3.4, 3.1. Then we go up to a 4.4, a 3.6, a 3.8.
And it's not just this. This is
and there's like four more. Yeah.
So I'll just tell you. So I didn't know about the earthquake, and I didn't. So what happened to me is I was in the garage organizing stuff, and I was trying to move stuff out so I could get my car in. More and more, I'm thinking like I want my car to be inside instead of out. I just everybody in the neighborhood's been doing weird stuff. It's just been nuts. So I was in the garage, and then all of a sudden, my stroller, which we have these metal clips that clip onto the rakes and things like that. Well, we had the stroller on there. That fell off the wall. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't feel the earthquake, but that thing just fell right off. And it was at the exact same time. I go 25 minutes or whatever until somebody calls me and they're like, there's just been a 6.5. I didn't have my phone, my phone was ringing, but I wasn't looking, like I wasn't watching the news. And then I saw that 6.5 and I'm like, holy moly. And it was exactly when my thing fell off the wall. People in Eastern Washington, what's crazy is H. Koss just put up a video. She's an old school Fugel family member. They had a tornado in Eastern Washington on top of feeling that 6.5 earthquake. That is absolutely nuts. Then there was a tornado, I believe in your area, right? I mean, it's like the weather is going nuts.
Yeah, we had something. I mean, there's been a lot of little damage here and there. We think it was a tornado. I don't know that they've actually reported it as one, but it sure looks like it.
And then my sister was on the way over here. Basically, we've gotten to the point where we are actually kind of bringing family together, just in case. Storing food in one spot, kind of we're doing different stuff. So in the case that her and her kids have to stay with us or vice versa, whatever ends up happening, that's what we're actually doing preparation for. And by the way, a lot of people might be going, oh, this is so stupid. You don't need to do any of that. I'm not worried so much about I'm not so worried about catching anything. I'm more worried about what else is going on. The military going into Cheyenne Mountain, the Navy, Sweden Navy putting their entire fleet underground, the huge crater in Nigeria, which they said was the governor or the leader there or whatever goes on a news conference and says, oh yeah, it was a truck and there was explosives in it and this and that and it was an accident, this and that. No. Every expert looked at it. They looked at the top shots. It had a 40-degree angle. Every expert says that was a meteor. No question about it. So you've got that going on. You've got all this other stuff going on. So we're going to show you that. We're going to go through these. 6.5 magnitude earthquake rattles Idaho in inland northwest. Just before 6 p.m. Tuesday, the Treasure Valley was rattled by a 6.5 magnitude earthquake, according to the USGS. Now, of course, in Idaho, people have fears of Yellowstone. This is the thing is the 4 states around there. That is why people are kind of tripping right now. This is not a normal or usual earthquake. Even just a couple weeks ago, we had a strange earthquake. Ohio had one. You had all these weird little tiny ones, and then you had a couple of bigger ones. This one is huge. 6.5 in that area. That's freaky. It kind of makes you think. And again, all of the nighttime training, all of the stuff, the whole world would be affected if Yellowstone ended up going off. Now, I know that there's probably some blogger or writer that wants to write a story and say, no, the world is not going to end. Have you noticed that every time somebody talks about Yellowstone or anything, some blog writer or no, the world is not going to end, in fact, and then goes and does every bit of research to try to prove their point, even though they're only posting the research that proves their point. When in reality, people like me, we actually post both sides. We post the good things and the bad things. But I just hate that, it's the debunker mentality, and that doesn't help anybody. The thing is the area the size of Chicago has been breathing in and out. They had all these unexplained. I mean, literally unexplained and Yellowstone were in the same sentence like 40 times last year. All these geysers going up. And one thing I don't get is, why is it so unrealistic? It's not like it's an alien coming down and showering us with galactic gifts or bringing us new technology that turns us into frogs. No. It's a volcano it's an active volcano. It's something that's been around for a long time. We know that it could go off some point. Then you have all this unexplained weird stuff happening. There's a chance it might go off. If it goes off, it goes off. Most of the people there, they're gone in an instant. Sorry about that. I think something happened here. That was weird.
Adam, the other interesting thing while you're fixing that, today, about 8 hours before the 6.5, there was actually 2 earthquakes at Yellowstone. One at the Old Faithful, and then another one in West Yellowstone in Montana. They were about 2.5, 2.6, I think they were.
You see what I'm saying? Just all this stuff. I mean, like here's the thing. If you're a prepper, it's logical to prep for these kind of things and to just make sure you have a contingency. The military is not looked at like they're crazy for preparing for these kind of things. The whole West Coast, all of the emergency responders, the Cascadia subduction zone. What I thought was crazy too is because of this whole other event that's going on, now they have hospital ships along all the coastlines. Thought about that for a second. I'm like, couldn't that be used in the case of just, say the guts of our entire country blowing up and people having to go into there. And then the videos all over the place of the people actually going to the hospitals and showing that, that it's kind of a flip there. Like maybe they need all of the hospitals empty. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Which, by the way, this story was one that we had logged in and ready for today's show before this earthquake happened. In fact, I'll show you. Swarm of 650 earthquake rattles Utah, Idaho, and California. So if we would have got on earlier today, it would have looked, this and that. I'm telling you, we've been looking at this for a long while. That's why we look into this area to see if there's stuff about this. It says, more than 600 earthquakes have hit across Utah and surrounding areas after a 5.7 magnitude quake struck near Salt Lake City about 2 weeks ago. See, again, that was an unusual earthquake, according to the University of Utah seismograph stations. As of Monday morning, the University of Utah seismograph stations, or the USS, recorded 658 earthquakes as part of a series of aftershocks. So this isn't something, this is something they've been looking at. 600 earthquakes in an unusual area. That's why it's only logical to make a guess that says, hey, could this be happening? It's not crazy. That's all I'm saying. It's not crazy to think these things. You're not crazy. In fact, if you've never been here before and you're new, most of the people in the chat, which is probably a couple thousand at least, these are people that are going to accept you for your view and at least try to work with you and be open-minded. We have people from all walks of life in here, and it's not like, oh, everyone's welcome. It's everyone who is open-minded is welcome. We all have to, get along now. We need to crush this divide and literally get together now more than ever. I have almost gotten to the point where I said, should we be doing the show or spending time with family? That's how weird I think this stuff is. When you put up all the stuff, and that's, all the stuff previously, what have we seen? Look at what I've been showing you for 2 years. Look at all the stuff that's been happening. All of the weird things like the Noah's Ark of seeds and they're essentially Russia's building a Noah's Ark in space. All of a sudden the weird timeline where they said we've got to be in space by this time. The nighttime training, the eminent domain to steal the night vision tubes. The mysterious drones all over Colorado. Like all these things are just super, super weird and unexplainable. Now today's day and age, it's like unexplainable is just everything. Everything that the government doesn't want you to know, it's unexplainable. Well, if you connect those things, all of a sudden you're a weirdo. Even though it's common sense, you connect these things. Why is the military doing, if they did a drill that was called A, B, C, D, E, and F, and then you were like, wait a second, there's a pattern here. There's A, B, C, D, E, F. And then they're like, no. What is this, the alphabet? Those don't make sense. Those aren't in a row or anything. DARPA needing a facility in 2 days back in August. That was super weird. And then they developed the smart suit that would change with the things. This is the thing. It's not only the beer virus. It's everything happening at once. Tornadoes, the crazy weather, the flippin' earthquakes, the meteors, signs in the stars, sun and moon. Now there's something coming that's going to be as bright as the moon. Some comment. Does it have stragglers? Does it have stragglers that are coming down and hitting? That's what I honestly wonder. Again, it says, T-Man tells Americans to prepare for a, quote, very tough 2 weeks. I don't know why my T-Man always sounds like Bush, but whatever. White House projects 100,000 to 200,000 who perished. It says the White House CV task force has unveiled on Tuesday the extended guidelines to try to slow the spread of the CV pandemic in the United States, as a somber president, T-Man, told Americans to brace for, quote, a very painful 2 weeks. What's funny is when they first came out, they had that board up, and that lady Burks, the doctor, was all like, "This is my plan. It's perfectly symmetrical. It's the 15-day plan to slow the spread." On the 15th day, we changed the number. It's the 30-day plan to slow the spread. And then after that, it will be, you have 10 days left to live. Plan to slow the spread. I don't know why she has a lisp now, but that's fine. You guys get what I mean. They just changed it to 30 now. And it just like, you don't even have to be a psychic or somebody who knows the past to see the future. It's like, of course it wasn't going to be 2 weeks. The country will be open by Easter. No, it's not. Like, they're doing temporary things to keep us from revolting. I mean, that's what it looks like, does it not? I mean, none of the stuff that is going on. And then you've got on the other end.
Well, he admitted that, right?
Yeah, and I'm not hating on him. By the way, people say, well, this and that. I'm not saying anything about it. He's, the president has this very specific job, but guess what? And here's my piece on this. If I was president right now and they briefed me in on anything, say they go, Yellowstone's going to go off in less than 3 weeks. A meteor is going to hit in less than 3 weeks. We're waiting for, Ryan to attack us. We knocked off General Soleimani, and that's what kicked this whole thing off. Would I go, okay, let's get the people in here. I got to tell everybody the truth. No, they don't do that. They can't do that. Because guess what happens if they say, hey, the world's going to end in 2 weeks? What's going to happen is complete pandemonium. Everybody's going to go out. They're going to take out their neighbors. They're going to steal. They're going to riot. They're going to break things. They're going to commit to themselves. So it is very believable and it's very logical that they would have to lie for the better good. So the only reason I'm saying this is because, of course, they are going to lie. And what's crazy is you would think to get elected to the president, which all previous presidents that, we're supposed to be picking the most trustworthy, the best person for that job. But really, when we do that every election, no matter what, even if it wasn't rigged, we are picking somebody, the best person, the most favorable person to lie to us, because they lie to us on a daily basis. And in some cases, that's the one position where you have to, and it's accepted. Doesn't that, I mean, think about it. How many times, if something's confidential, they have to say, no, that doesn't exist? Is that not a lie? Or they omit something, or they say something. Is it crazy enough? I mean, like, really? We literally get lied to on a daily basis. How has that had an effect on this culture? Absolutely nuts. So a very painful 2 weeks, guys. Get ready. What you need... Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Adam. On a serious note, though, some of the things that did come out for the folks that are following along, not that the other stuff wasn't serious, but for the folks that are following along with the CV efforts, your state and California were actually admired for the early work y'all did, because your numbers have stayed low, because your numbers have compressed down, and you have actually what they call flattened the curve. Where other states that didn't do things like New York took their sweet time doing any action, including their mayor telling people, just go to the theater, it's all okay. they are the ones that have exploded. So
that was the stupidest thing. The guy said,
yeah.
"Now live your life. Go out and catch a train. Play some b-ball. Heck,
Right.
go to an all-you-can-eat buffet without a sneeze guard. That's living life." And then
So
2 weeks later, he's like, "Yeah." And they finally telling people to put on masks.
Yeah, exactly. But this is a good
Really?
thing, because for those of the people that are, question whether or not social distancing is the right thing to be doing, you can see that it has worked. It is working in certain areas, and if everybody sort of does their part, is what they're saying, it will make a difference.
They call it the Seattle freeze for a reason. People don't say hi here. They don't. It's not the Midwest where there's Southern hospitality. When you walk by somebody in Seattle, they look down, or they will literally pull out a plastic demo phone just to look away. People here don't talk to each other. So I would see how here would actually have the social distancing kind of down. Nobody talks to each other. And now, just in general, everybody's on their damn phones. Nobody pays attention to anything. They could walk right through a freaking crosslight or a crossroads, and they won't know because they're on their phone playing freaking, pop the balloon or something. So now we're getting, okay, so this is going to tie into the next one too, which we know about the New York governor's brother getting it. And it's weird. Who are the names that are getting this, right? It says, what you need to know today about the virus outbreak. It says the mounting perished toll from the virus outbreak in the United States has it poised to overtake China's tally of 3,300 perished. It says with New York Governor Andrew Cuomo saying up to 1 million more healthcare workers are needed in the city. Hence why they're trying to grab retired people, try to grab anybody they can, and actually get them to come back to work. It says, please come help us, he urged. There are more than 800,000 global infections and more than 37,000 perished worldwide. President DT backed away from his hopes for an Easter rebirth for the nation's economy after doctors presented him with grim projections on the CV pandemic. In ex-communist Eastern Europe and elsewhere, rulers are assuming more power while they introduce harsh measures they say are necessary to halt the CV spread. In some cells in Raya, and yes, I'm saying these wrong because this is going on to YT, and other countries in the Middle East, prisoners are crammed in by the dozens with little access to hygiene or medical care. So if one person gets it, the whole thing gets it. It says among the vulnerable prison populations are tens of thousands of political detainees jailed for advocating for democracy, holding protests, or simply criticizing autocratic leaders. So a lot of, as far as like what is going on with this, we've got the whole world, supposedly getting all of this crazy stuff. We're going to see a lot of things happen in the next few weeks, which I will be posting on Twitter a lot, you guys, because I'm not going to put my opinion right here. But again, things like this come out. CV could travel 27 feet, open your car door, smack you in the face, undo your seatbelt, pull you out of the car, and then teabag you. That's what the new CV can do. This thing is a miracle thing. It can travel 27 feet, stay in the air for hours. Social distancing guidelines to say 6 feet from others may be woefully inaccurate, one scientist warns, saying the CV can travel 27 feet. Literally, it can take a bus to your location and linger for hours. So the one thing I wonder is, your spit isn't going to linger. So the one argument which I tried to debunk is people were saying that viruses cannot live outside the body. That's BS. Otherwise, no one would ever get a virus. The virus has to have a host, and technically your spit or your saliva or your snot is a host. At least for a few minutes to a few hours. They say days, but I doubt it, outside the body. So
Adam, I have more for that if you want it.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So did a little research on that. And basically with this particular virus, the outer cell or the outer wall is made up of an oily deposit. And that's what gives it its short lifespan outside of a host. And just like if it was in, say, some snot or spit or whatever, that's an additional layer that helps protect it for a little while it's looking for a new place to attach. But the point being that because the outer wall is made of oil or oil-based, that's why something like washing your hands causes it to break down real easy, because soap breaks down oil and it breaks down the outer wall, which then makes the virus itself actually fall apart. So that's why they're saying something as simple as just washing your hands can make a big difference in this particular one. Other ones may not, but this particular one is very easy to deal with outside of the body.
See, I just don't, with some of this stuff, I don't understand how so many things are coming out like this. So, and then it says MIT Associate Professor Lydia Borubia, who has researched the dynamics of coughs and sneezes for years, warns in newly published research that the current guidelines are based on outdated models from the 1930s. It says, rather than the assumed 6 feet, Baruba warns that pathogen-bearing droplets of all sizes can travel 23 to 27 feet. So they're like the Michael Jordans of diseases. They go from the free throw line and da-dunk. So,
did you hear Fauci on this one?
I was just thinking about the grocery store lines with the X's. Think about that.
Dr. Fauci went off on this today. He was so pissed over this particular scientific research that came out. He said it requires you to do the biggest achoo you could ever do to like sling your spit 27 feet. He's like that's not the norm. He goes, sure, maybe one person can do it.
Well, I can just see like the staff smoking in the back of like a Safeway, and then you're sitting there with your cart, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, I'm just waiting. I've got 2 people ahead of me." You know, it's like you're gonna be in the frozen aisle, waiting to move up to your X, and then they're gonna like, you know, shoot a gun up in the air for when it's time for you to move forward. This is just nuts. Some of the stuff that is coming out is absolutely crazy. If you guys haven't joined our Discord, this is a big deal. So right now, if you need to like get contact details of people you've made friends with over a long time, or people in chat, a lot of people are in here. We've got over 14,000 members in our Discord alone. And of course, we have 3 different big areas. We've got tons of different rooms for whatever you believe in. But again, we've got the state groups, which we have all 50 states and then different parts around the world. If you're in Europe, Australia, in Canada, we've got all of these different groups where people actually meet. They talk prep. They talk all this. Now, we pause the in-person meetings. Most people are doing Skype meetings for their state groups. But again, you know, at this point, I would say use the Skype rooms, use the voice that is provided in each stateroom. Make sure to talk to each other because we have no idea what's around the corner. Creators Corner is for any creator on DLive or on YouTube. Both the requirement is 100 plus subs or 20 and 20 plus vids. And then, of course, we have our military group. We have over 400 active and retired military in this group, and they are all, talking about everything that's going on. So make sure to do that. You'll be vetted by another vet. Please do not try false valor. Otherwise, you'll be kicked out of all of our systems and all of our services. Then, again, marfugalnews.com is where you go for Marfugal alerts. This is actually where you will find a lot of stuff. So make sure to check it out, marfugalnews.com. Prosecutors, Brooklyn man coughs on FBI agents during price gouging arrest. So apparently they were arresting him. Is that what happened, Dex? And then he coughed on them?
Yeah, exactly. You know, we're seeing more and more of these cases where it's interesting stretch of the rules, right? The laws. Like this guy's coughing, and now is that some sort of T threat? Is that some sort of biological, contamination? What is that? And so, yeah, he was being arrested for something else and decided to cough it up.
Add a charge. sneeze. He coughed and charged himself. There you go. In fact, cops get that all the time. People spitting on them. I can only imagine, and that is an assault charge if you spit on somebody. But now, apparently coughing is even that bad. It says U.S. Attorney Craig Carpenito said on one occasion, 43-year-old Baruch Fieldheim allegedly agreed to sell a doctor in New Jersey approximately 1,000 N95 masks and other supplies for $12,000. That's how many? 1,000 for 12,000. Well, so wait a second. So
they're like 95 cents each, right?
They're not that cheap, are they?
In bulk, yeah.
Okay, so
at least that's what the governor of New York told us. Hey, we used to get them for 99 cents. Now we have to pay $7.
Okay, because I was gonna say if they were no, and what I was thinking is the actual like respirators, the totally different. So these are the cheapo N95, just the little paper or the paper ones or whatever they're made out of. Those masks for $12,000. That's pretty horrible. So this guy was one of those D-bags that was price gouging people on masks, selling them for way, way higher than what they needed to be. And he was selling them to doctors. That's what's really messed up. It says Carpenito said that the doctor met Fieldheim in an auto repair shop in Irvington to pick up the items. So this doctor is desperate just to protect his people and paying $12,000 for something that should have been $1,000, essentially. And it says when he arrived, authorities said the shop contained enough materials, including hand sanitizers, Clorox wipes, chemical cleaning supply agents, and surgical supplies to outfit an entire hospital. So, you know what they should do is they should confiscate that guy's stuff instead of a regular ma and pa store that was selling them at normal price, just trying to make the normal markup. There are people that would buy them right now for $2 that would use them all day, every day. Like, we should have just had regular availability of these so people could pay regular price for them. Let the company, whoever made them, make money. That's the whole point of business. Just like you're buying toilet paper, it's not like they're giving it to you at cost. All of the other essentials that we're buying right now are at cost. And the hospital expects that, everywhere else expects that. But because people bought this many or bought a whole thing when this first happened, this screwed everybody else over. I mean, just in general, even if you don't believe this is real, think about just in general, the way that people are acting. That's immoral. So say in your mind, say a real one comes along and people do the same thing. This is messed up. This is not something people should do. Even the toilet paper thing, it's just the stupidest thing. My wife can't find baby wipes because everyone has cleared them out because the toilet paper's gone. Now they're going for the wipes, which they're not flushing. They're probably not even getting them for toilet paper. They're getting them. And then one woman that we saw, she had a whole cart full of it when the one place that had wipes, and we were out. So I had to walk up to her and I said, hey, can you spare like one of those? We're completely out. She's like, yeah, absolutely. Do you need two? So she's nice. And I'm like, yeah, she's like, I said something and she goes, I don't have any kids. I just, I don't want to be without. I'm like, you don't have kids, but you're getting all of the baby wipes. You can use normal toilet paper on a baby's butt, but the whole point of those wipes is those are for babies, not for you, lady. I told her off. I normally don't tell people off. I would have just walked away. I said, you are an idiot, lady. You should not be hoarding baby wipes. There's even regular wipes. It was just stupid. That's why they came up. That was why it was trending for 2 weeks. COVIDiots on Twitter because of that. Alabama and Massachusetts are handling the addresses of people with CV over to the police. Wow. Two U.S. states, Alabama and Massachusetts, have begun providing the addresses of those known to have been diagnosed with CV to police in a bid to contain the spread and protect first responders who might answer a call where the CV sufferer is involved. Alabama began providing the addresses, but not names, to police and other emergency responders starting more than a week ago. The information is distributed to 85 emergency communications districts in the state and is then relayed to police officers and other first responders when they go out on calls. It's only on an as known as needed basis. As known as needed basis, said Leah Missildine, executive director of Alabama's 911 board. Huh. Wow.
Now, I'm sure they have a good excuse. Right?
Yes.
The excuse is, oh, well, we're not giving out the names, so we're not breaking HIPAA laws, but we're protecting the first responders because if they get a domestic call and they've got to show up there, they need to know that they're walking into a contaminated place, right? I'm sure that's the reason. But man, that's pretty scary to also think.
Dude, that's stupid. That is HIPAA. That's anything about that patient should not be shared. That's HIPAA. Even if it's just their address, what if you own that house? Anybody can go, well, that's that person's house. I don't know. Sometimes I get both sides. That's just crazy. See, all of these things that are going on, it's just crazy. This is changing the world as we speak. And I hope there's a tomorrow. As far as this, okay, so first off, with all the stuff that's going on, period, even if you go through us or you go through someone else, look into EMP Shield, look into who they are protecting. Look at what the country is doing right now. They're protecting bases. The military commanders are going in Mount Cheyenne. They are training for nighttime stuff. I mean, they've been training for this for like 3 years now. As far as EMP Shield, they are the company that has outfitted DOD, DHS, and now they're officially on the DEMSO team protecting the Texas grid. An EMP Shield is essentially a device you wire into your car or your house or your solar system, and what it does is it actually grounds the signal before it has a chance to fry your device. Now, if we had a complete outage where the grid just completely went down, there's a couple scenarios where this would still help. Obviously, you can't put your entire house in a Faraday cage, and you most likely can't put a Faraday cage around your car, but you can put one of these, and it will actually protect against all three phases of not only an EMP, E1, E2, and E3, but a coronal mass ejection. So if that is something that is ever going to be on the plate, and they won't tell us that either, then this would actually protect the devices, the cars, everything else. This is the last day of the contest. This is literally the last day to go to marfugelnews.com/contest. Because these are not $5, they are actual, this is a device that is meant to physically protect you against this. There is a contest, and this contest will be giving out 3 to 3 winners. That's over $1,000 worth of device to 3 different people. So make sure if you don't have the money, at least try to get them through this. Winners get to choose the devices. Again, you must go to marfugelnews.com/contest. These are all of the different things. And actually, there's 44 different devices for 44 different things that you can protect. You can even protect your ham radio. These can be wired into your solar system, your vehicle, and your generator. These 3, I think, would literally save somebody who is off-grid. And again, how are you going to get off-grid if your car doesn't work? So, again, just go to marfugelnews.com/EMP. Again, that's marfugelnews.com/EMP. Even if you have to go around us, go to somebody else. This way it helps us. But again, look at what's going on around us. Let's see here. Now, New York City morgues, cemeteries overwhelmed as CV death perished rises. So, there is a big debate on this. A lot of people are saying a lot of things. There's videos floating around of every different type of thing. I see the logic in both sides. I'm going to share my views on this on Twitter, most likely, or on a DLive only show, which actually, while we are here, I just want to clarify. I got 15 or 20 comments. They're getting less. They're actually less than the first time we did a DLive only show. People say, oh, no. I've watched you since the beginning, and now you're charging people on a monthly pay-by-pay thing. For the people that don't understand how DLive works, if you look underneath where you are chatting, there is a button next to it, which if I was a software designer, it doesn't make much sense. That button, which is normally the send button, is actually the share button, and you can get lemons and buy stuff with that. Maybe they did that on purpose. Maybe they did it because I don't know. But that button is where send is. So the first time somebody comes into DLive, they press that, and it gives them the option to buy lemons. So they think that it is a pay website. All you have to do is press enter on your phone or enter on your keyboard, and it just enters the message. But I think this is why there's so many people who think that DLive is not free. DLive is completely free. Yeah, well, at least for the time being, and for the last year, it's been free. I would never put secret info behind a paywall. I've always said this for 2.5 years. So for the people that were just like downright rude, I forgive you, because I know you did it not knowing what you were talking about. Anyways, so again, DLive only shows, though, the great part about it, and people say, well, this and that. I saw somebody say, oh, DLive is douchey. I'm sorry, YouTube is that way, okay? DLive does not filter words. They do not treat one person like this and one person like that, depending on what they say. Think about it. So I know it's an inconvenience, but once you get down, a lot of people, other thing they say is that it buffers no matter what. They've reinstalled it, installed it. Yes, I know it's got technical glitches, but I think that's mostly because of what the internet situation is right now. As far as the morgues getting overwhelmed, I don't know about that, but I do know that the internet is getting overwhelmed. I'm going to head over to chat, and I'm going to say what's up to you guys. I absolutely love all of you, and I love my YouTube crew as well. You guys are amazing. Let's see here. We've got nearly 6,000 people in chat. Genghis, what is going on? I've never seen your name here. XH had shots. What is going on? Seek all truth. Baby Caw. Friar Horse. Red 1967. Lemon Essence. Thank you for the lemons. Coon 1980. Thank you for the ice creams. Let me get over here and make sure that I can say what's up to all of you guys. Godic Q, thank you so much for the diamond. Staying up too late in Michigan. Lady GT476, thank you for the diamond as well. Lots of people here tonight. Just received a 1-month subscription for JR Pale Horse Trails. Thank you for being here. JR Pale Horse, thank you. Obey777, Transform Life. Thank you for being here. Mini70, thank you for staying up late. I know that you guys don't like these late shows. We're trying to upgrade our phones to make it better for everybody. So it's going to be good. And it's going to be great in the next couple days because we got a big surprise for you. Lachelle, Mark's Drums, Vibron, what is going on? Chris Starr, just getting back into DLive. Hello. Chris Starr, thank you for coming over and hanging out with us. Mark's Drums, thank you for the lemons, Vibron. Got a lot of people. Go to race. Tiffy G. Philo Phyto. Thank you for the lemons. Go to Q. Thank you again. Lovely Stoats. Meg25. The Nameless Black. Let's see. Medj Jemmy. Thank you so much. Tuck Pup. Tuck Pup. I always say your name wrong. Credit card hackers active. I got hit. Get NordVPN. That's actually... Okay, so again, for people like you, I totally say that every single time. If you've worked hard for your credit card score, then don't screw it up online. Get a VPN. If it's not ours, get a different one. Type Girl, Mosquitoes Butterfly, Dazzle 4444, Cutie Pie, Angelica, Greatest Love. Thank you guys for all coming out and showing love. Seriously, it's been so crazy here. I can't say enough thank yous. Audrey's Visual Alerts. Wish I could do more. Love your show. Don't worry about it. Thank you so much for being here. Share out our show on YouTube. Share our show here if you can. DLive.tv/Marfugel News. Kevin Furman, thank you so much. Who's got a bunker? Let me in. M. Menching, thank you for popping out a Ninja Genie. Hear ya. Marf and Dex, always looking forward to the show. Thank you. Lady GT476. Shield and Sword, you demand, Marf. Thank you. Paul Shaggy, Enchanted Bayou, thank you for the lemons. Dom808, hackers, please delete ours. Mahalo. Love my Hawaiian people. I'm so happy you guys didn't have that tsunami. I know that you guys had a tsunami watch. That must be scary. For the Hawaiian people, how do you guys deal with it? You get a lot of those kind of, seems like once a year or twice a year you get a tsunami watch. Stormy7572, Adam, we don't care if it's late. We want news. That's awesome. Thank you. J-Star Oregon, thank you. Love the fam. Well, we love you too, man. Thank you for the Ninja Genie. All right. To get back to it, if these are really, this is starting to look like Italy. I honestly don't know where I sit, and that's why I've been posting a lot of stuff. I think that down all the paths, things are going on. It really seems, and I think, Dex, you would agree, it's like your wife has even been talking about, like, a lot of people have been thinking it's just straight up the end of the world. And I'm not trying to be alarmist, but what is going on?
I mean, what? Locusts, hail, tornadoes, earthquakes, plague. Right. What else? Bats dropping from the sky. I mean, come on. The list is getting long.
The flies that the flies that covered all the part of the ground. That's the plague of the flies in 2019. The poisonous frogs that overwhelmed Florida. I mean, there's everything. Everything.
Oh, red rivers. I've seen that.
Oh, there's been a lot of that, and they say it's because of some sort of what do you call it?
Dude, they bacteria said wine or something. In what was it, Italy or somewhere? They said it was because they poured wine into the river or something.
What? Well, you've got like 2,000 Italian homies. Like, oh, this is from my homie. I don't get it. That's pretty funny. Coon 1980, thank you so much. Stefan Diaz, ML to the fam. Please stay safe. Food shortage is coming, says Mini70. I wish you weren't right about that. People think because the stores are, and by the way, now states that did not have the whole panic buying thing happen, now they do have it. And I'm getting those emails. It's like a delayed response of what happened here a month ago. There's been some people that have said that essentially the warehouses, they've got enough to make the store totally packed for like 3 weeks. This is what's being said, of course. But then after that, we depend on other countries so much for other stuff that there's not stuff to refill that in the warehouses. So I hope that doesn't happen. But also the farming last year was totally screwed by the flooding. Think about that.
Oh, yeah, it was. And Adam, here's the other thing that's driving me crazy. Like, I want to buy bags of salad, but my store limits you to 2, okay? Because they're limiting it, there's so much salad stacked up in bags that it's turning brown. So you can't even find fresh salad because nobody's buying it. It's not rotating fast enough.
That's just stupid. Why
it's
lettuce?
It's the dumbest thing. So it's all going bad. It's just sitting there. Like, you go look at a bag of salad, all of the salad, every one of them's turning brown. It's annoying.
So I would go to the manager and say, look at what's happening. This is stupid. You can't get it off the shelf fast enough. Then, or
have
limit
you seen
to
the
5.
buy two get one freeze, or buy 2 get one, buy 3 get one free, but then they have a sign that says limit 2. I swear I can find 4 of those in my store every time I go.
So buy 2, get 1 free, and then you can't get the free one. That's pretty stupid. That is pretty stupid. Esoteric Visions, thank you. Adrian here, thanks for joining us together. Well, thank you guys for coming. AK Snowy Rose, much love from Alaska. Thanks for keeping us up to date. Amy, Mini 70, farming screwed this year too. Wet weather and no migrant labor to plant or harvest. So yeah, I don't think people remember that all the flooding wiped out just a giant part of our local farming. You know, people like Mike. People like Mike. Sorry, people like Mike. From people like, oh my gosh, Mike Morales. He says it's kind of like weather warfare, like something else bigger else is going on. So it's pretty nuts. Now, okay, so by the way, it's like, come on. Here's the thing. I feel relatively good. I've had a couple times where I've felt like I've had the sniffles. I've had, right now, I actually had swollen glands, but I just feel like I've been getting those and then not getting those. I don't know. But I don't even want to say it. I don't want to jinx myself, but I've been wearing a mask since way before this. And I don't care if people say it's this, it's that. I'm not going to take the chance. I'm the person taking care of 3 kids. So as far as, you know, I could go out there and be a hero or make a point and say this, but I'm not going to. But as far as like this now recommended, seriously? The thing is I've seen in videos. One of somebody really nice on Twitter who's DM'd me, or I think it was actually on Instagram, sent me this message, and it was a guy on Twitter that was like, you know, had a mask on. He takes it off. He goes, blah, blah, "You look like an effing idiot wearing a mask in the Dorito aisle." It was kind of funny, but at the same time, he was basically making everybody embarrassed, being the guy that's, you know, "You look like a dumbass wearing a mask." It's that kind of attitude why people are laughing at people wearing masks. Well, in some parts of the world, there really is really bad viruses where you have to walk around like that. Why are we embarrassed to put a mask on? It's self-protection, just period. Even if you think it's this or that, why take the chance? At the same time, you wouldn't walk on a rope with no handrails above 1,000-foot drop, but you would walk around without a mask, even though you know, you see what I'm saying? Like, so that guy does that. But yet, what about you? If this is something where you don't know you're sick, or what if you even have the regular flu and there's 90-year-olds walking around, why wouldn't you cover your mouth so you don't get other people sick? And if everybody did that, the people that are sick wouldn't be coughing on accident. Everybody's had those all of a sudden coughs that you know something comes out, or you sneeze and a piece of snot just rockets out onto your clothing. And no matter who it is, I don't care if you're, you know, somebody who says, "Oh, I would never." Everybody's done that. Everybody's had that all of a sudden sneeze come out of nowhere and snot rocket on something. Everybody's had the cough where you're drinking something and then all of a sudden, see, the thing is we don't see the microscopic crap that comes out of us. If we saw in microscope, I mean, it's just crazy. I'm talking right now. This thing is getting covered. I sanitize this all the time just for the sheer fact that it's just gross. You see what I'm saying? And actually, no, you don't see what I'm saying. But if you did have a microscope, you would literally see what I'm saying. When people talk, when they say the P word, that's what this is for. It's for like our Peter Paul penguin. It's just gross. Fauci acknowledged that such a directive has been complicated by the nationwide dearth of personal protective equipment. But that's the thing. Even if you weren't embarrassed about it, even if you weren't making fun of somebody else who did have it, you can't find masks. That's the thing. Nobody can find them. And hold on, is his watch inside out? Sorry, I just had kind of ADD here. Looks like that's the inside of his watch. Or he's got one of those calculator watches. He looks like a calculator watch kind of guy. So the main point is, yes, now he is saying he's telling us to wear a mask. So, kind of
it's the most absurd thing. Two things I think here. One, they should have never said that it will harm you. The people that are saying that wearing one will harm you is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard from a medical professional. I'm sorry, it just doesn't make any sense, because when you turn around and tell somebody that's taking care of somebody that they should wear one to protect them, then why wouldn't anyone else be protected? Like, how do you get it? How does it make it worse, right? So
it doesn't.
That's the one that really irked me when the CDC and others started that nonsense. So,
well, it's almost like, why would you, if somebody's got the ability and has one, why would you not wear it?
I get them. I get it if they're trying to protect the supply. Then come out and say, yeah, it would be good, but you don't need it as much as they do. Sacrifice for them. They're on the front line. No problem.
Don't wear the mask. Donate it to a hospital.
Yeah.
But no,
show your solidarity,
no,
right? That's what it should be. Not let me lie to you or let me give you some nonsense that we think we can just come up with. I don't know. And then the other thing is, when you see someone in public, like, for those of you that want to judge the masks, don't judge, because you don't know. That person could be immune compromised. They could have lots of other issues going on, or they could be a snot rocket waiting to blow, like you said, and you don't want them hitting you. So be glad they're covered up. No,
I agree with you. And this is just such a high, I don't understand why so many people are arguing about it. And then if you see in public, what's crazy is, like, we went to the Fred Meyer, and we took turns going in, and one of us waited with the kids, one of us went in, one went out. It was so crazy in there. It's like, just people are, like, straight up, not one of them was wearing a mask in this public thing. There was a couple people with N95 or this or that, but the majority of people just act like it's nothing. And that means that a majority think that this is either fake, or they just don't care, or they're not worried about it, because everybody's in their own little bubble. Even if it is fake, I would rather not take the chance, because it's not going to hurt anybody else for you to wear one. It's going to hurt somebody if that possibly is real and you don't wear one. So I just don't see a downside, I guess. I guess it's more the principle of it, right? I'm not wearing one because I don't believe it. Okay, that's fine. But I'm going to wear mine, and what are you in fourth grade? You've got braces, or you've got glasses on. Like, you're going to make fun of somebody because they're wearing something? Like, it's childish. As far as the whole thing, I think that there's something way bigger here. Way bigger. It feels to me, and I'm just telling you what my feeling, and this is my feeling, is that they don't go put the military command in Cheyenne Mountain over this. The videos that have come out and said, yeah, since January, over 100,000 people have died of the normal flu. But the whole time everybody said that, I'm the first one to be like, okay, but this is exponential. It can go choo and keep going, and it can mutate and come back around. Because the thing is I believe both sides. I actually believe that. I'm like, yeah, that is much worse. And I believe that this is real as well. I think that the 27, what I don't care about that one, but as far as being in the air for half an hour, oil-based, like, this thing just smells like somebody cooked up on a cooktop. And then people are saying this, and it's China and this, that. I don't know. I wouldn't say anybody right now, because I don't know. This is like every country is looking over their shoulder like, who did it? Who did it? Because I don't think they for sure know if it's them or them or them or them. Something is going on. The one theory that I had was the whole Soleimani thing. Knocked off Soleimani, but we didn't get, remember, we tried to knock off his second-hand man. T-Man literally sat there and said he was planning mass casualty events. And yet we didn't get Soleimani's second-hand man. Remember, that failed. So that guy has still survived, still in the IRGC, and still around. I'm not saying that that's what's going on, but that makes a whole lot more logical sense. And what if they were putting us in their house? What if they got a memo and said, okay, there's going to be a mass, 911 kind of event. So they were like everywhere in the world, and they don't know where it's going to be in the world. So they made us all sit in home until they can take out the guys that are responsible. That's just one, like, if you were a normal person and trying to make sense of all of this, and you also found out that, like, this wasn't as bad as they say it is, right? You would try to make sense of how the entire world shut down the economy for this, and how would they justify it? Would something bigger happen? As far as the whole thing, like them planning for a grid down, that's been done for like 2.5, 3 years, and longer than that, mind you, but they actually like pushed it really, really hard the last couple of years, and then T-Man finally signed that bill last year to strengthen our grid, because our grid's in trouble if they do something like that. And then I thought, what if Ryan and NK teamed up to try to weaken us, and because there's no other way. Weaken them, weaken this. Why is Russian separating itself? There's all this different stuff. And then you got the Yellowstone, then you got the meteor. It's just crazy. I'm going to show you that you guys got to see this meteor stuff. It's nuts. We'll show you here in a minute. CNN's Chris Cuomo diagnosed with CV. CNN has announced that Chris Cuomo, the network's primetime anchor and brother of New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, has tested positive. Now, do you keep seeing the people that they do say have it? Have you noticed there's kind of a pattern? There's very high connections here.
It's interesting.
Isn't it? It's really funny. It's really funny, the people they say. You guys get what I mean. Millwood Bell, yep, tons of plausible theories going around. And that's a great word, plausible. They're plausible. It's not like they're way out there like, an alien shot a virus from planet Zarkon. Which, I wasn't supposed to say that, but you see what I mean? That would be way off the cuff, like totally weird. We're talking about stuff that actually could happen, and they've planned for, and there's actual in writing in our government's plans for. Heck, the meteor hitting New York simulation they just did, like 8 months ago or whatever it was, and we failed miserably. The 482 days countdown, that could have been for climate chaos. That could have been for this. It lined up perfectly with this whole situation. That was a memo. If you're new and you don't know what I'm talking about 500 days ago, whatever, we did a video and I was talking about the memo that went out to these people saying there's 482 days left. And this wasn't the 500 days till chaos, climate chaos. This was after that. So something went on, and it's just weird. I'll just say that much. Go back and watch it. Ask somebody if in the chat that knows. I've got a lot of people here that have been with me for a long time. DC mayor threatens jail time for leaving home during the CV. Mayor Muriel Bowser is threatening residents of Washington, D.C. with 90 days in jail and a $5,000 fine if they leave their homes during the CV outbreak. The threat of jail is alarming residents and civil libertarians who point out that at least 5 inmates tested positive for CV-19 in the city's 1,700 inmate jail near Capitol Hill. It says, our message remains the same. Stay home, Bowser, a Democrat, said in a statement Monday. The stay-home order has exceptions for grocery stores and work deemed essential. Outdoor recreations such as running is allowed, but cannot involve people outside of a household. The order is similar to dictates in neighboring Maryland, Virginia, but shocked residents of Washington, where there are just 401 of the nation's 160,000 confirmed cases. It says, "This is insane. Criminal penalties?" tweeted Mercedes Schlapp, President T-Man's former White House Director of Strategic Communications and an advisor to his re-election campaign. That is pretty nuts. Think about that. 90 days in jail for leaving your house.
But aren't they releasing people from jail?
Not in Washington, D.C., though. And what about the homeless? They can walk around, find whatever place. I know that they're putting a lot of homeless in hotels, but are they doing it there? So one man can walk outside, sleep under bridges, walk to one other bridge, and then, but if you leave your house, how do they even enforce this?
But we're taking criminals right now and we're releasing them because of CV, and then we're going to take non-criminals and we're going to turn them into criminals because of CV.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense right now. Nothing does. Sorry, I just had to screenshot. It said 5,555 people watching. 55555. Danish Girl, thank you for dropping a Ninja Guinea. Thank you guys for all the support. Dave 808. Again, my Hawaiian people, mahalo. Beverage companies pose a high risk to military. Really? Been with the Fugle fam 2 years. Love you and Dex, says Acorn5150. Thank you so much, Acorn. Let me know your screen name over on YouTube. Then I can connect the dots. Millwood Bell, thank you again. Snafu Snaps, what's up, my brother? I'm glad you have a Marfia badge. Nameless Block, what is going on? Sunshine Bee, what is going on? Okay, let's see here. Oh, and then if you guys want to help us in a different way, this is something that I do and I believe in, which, by the way, somebody posted zinc. Okay, so I'll just tell you something that has helped me in general. Just forget about this other stuff. I've been taking elderberry syrup. I've been eating at least 3 smaller oranges and 2 of the big ones. 3 of the cuties. I've been eating 2 apples a day. The oranges, I've been doing the zinc, and then the vitamin C, the elderberry syrup, and then I've been taking just my normal, multivitamin. And it has helped me tremendously. Before, I wasn't, I guess now my wife and I are like really, really strict about it, and we have an alarm that goes off. We take it. We do all of that stuff, almost like it's medicine for, we make it serious. Like, we're going to die if we don't have this. Again, it's not that serious, but we have made it like that so we don't forget. And so we're healthy because we have 3 kids growing up and we want to be there for when they're older. That has improved my life greatly. Earthing has improved my life greatly. Now, if you're not able to get one of these, the coolest part is you can do this for free. You can go outside, you can go in your backyard if you have one and stand. What these are for, these are all different products from Clint Ober, one of the men who did 25 medical studies proving that this is actually a very, very big help. It helps with inflammation. It helps with attention span. It actually helps with sleep, digestion, anything that has inflammation. Inflammation is the root cause of everything else. What these guys make is a mat, all sorts of different stuff. In fact, there's patches, there's mats. But what I use is the mat that I put on my bed. It's underneath my sheet. When I go to sleep, I'm doing 8 hours of grounding. This is a real thing. We are electricity. Our hearts, our brains, our nervous system is all electrical synapses. So it only makes sense that we are grounded just like the things outside. So I haven't talked about this much, but this has actually made a huge difference, especially when I get sick. It's like every time I sleep, I wake up great. Even when my glands are swollen, it feels like I go to sleep, they're good the next day. So it's made a big difference. If you don't believe me, you can ask. There's literally hundreds of people in this Fugle family who have been doing this as long as I've been alive. You can actually go watch the movie as well. It's a full featured documentary. We've had Muriel Hemingway, of course, the famous Hemingway on our show. We've had Clint Ober. That movie has Amy Smart, Deepak Chopra, all sorts of people. It just came out in about a few months ago. We had first access before anyone else. Go to marfugelnews.com/earthing. Again, that's marfugelnews.com/earthing. Kentucky judges now putting defiant CV patients on house arrest. This is just nuts. So they're actually putting a tracker on people who are defiant. Again, the civil libertarians are stepping up. They're saying, what the hell? It says some people in Louisville are being diagnosed with CV-19 and then refusing to stay home, defying orders from doctors. How do they know that? City and state leaders, now judges, are issuing court orders in attempt to hold them legally liable, and Metro Corrections officers are being asked to distribute the GPS monitoring gear. That's right. So house arrest with an ankle monitor for these people with the virus, which can only be approved, basically. It's not like you're behind the desk and saying, wait, where on there does it say I have it? Hold on. Let me give it to my boss. Yeah, you have it. Yeah. You have it, but your wife doesn't, that you've been with for 22 days. Yeah, you got it.
Doesn't that cost too? I've never had one, but I understand from others that there's like a monthly fee you have to pay and it's not cheap.
Anything with the court costs. So it's not like, as far as house arrest, what's his face? Road to Prison had it for just his like little thing, and said it costs a bunch of money actually. I think in some cases, if they're indigent, then they don't have to pay, but most of the time they have to pay. Same with DUI and the equipment that goes in your car if you have a DUI, all that kind of stuff. All is stuff you have to pay for. But I wonder in this case how that would be, if that would be different. If you guys are missing notifications, make sure to go to marfugelnews.com. We actually have push notifications. Make sure to just click on that red bell. It's actually iOS is coming soon. We're working on that, but of course it works with most all browsers and Android. And then of course, let's see here. Okay, here now we're going to get into some of this craziness. Okay, so off the CV topic, triangular UFO spotted again over Texas as mystery lights move across the sky. It says a triangle-shaped UFO appears to have been spotted for the third time this year above Texas in an astonishingly clear video. The mysterious craft was seen on New Year's Day in Houston before being spotted again above a motorway in Bogota last month. And now the object has been seen over Seguin in possibly the clearest video yet. The clip shows a collection of 7 lights moving in a triangle formation across the night sky. A stunned man behind the camera can be heard exclaiming, "What the F?" The lights continue on their path and after just a few moments disappear out of sight. What do you think about this, Dex? As far as this,
it's interesting because further down in there they talk about the TR-3 Black Manta, which is some secret aircraft, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah,
that
people have been talking
really
for
officially
years.
Been talked about, right? But I just Google searched it just to look that up, and it is a triangle. Well, supposedly a triangle-shaped craft, which is kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, people have talked about the TR-3B or whatever it is for long time.
Yeah, I wonder if that's what they're flying around. But yeah, we keep hearing this. It's hard. I'm surprised we're hearing it in the midst of CV, but I guess a little other news does get out.
Yeah, I wonder as far as, so we have linked the video. This isn't on Twitter, is it? Yeah, I'm not going to end up. So we've linked this original one. You can actually go and watch the video for yourself. If it was a DLive only show, we could totally do that, and probably will. I'll make a note of it. But again, on marfugelnews.com, you can actually go to it. We've attached all the tweets, all the videos right here. Boom, boom, bam. Click on it for yourself. Of course, after the show. Okay, so let's see here. Oh, okay, this is crazy. NK is using the corpses of prisoners to fertilize the country's crops. It only gets weirder. NK has been using the corpses of political prisoners to fertilize its crops, or it has been alleged. The gruesome measure has been said to have been used across the country, even on mountainous terrain, and led to a bumper crop recently. The claim has been made by a former prisoner who survived the hell of Kachon concentration camp. Using the pseudonym Kim Oo-soon, she said, quote, "The lands are very fertilized, and farming is successful there because of the buried human bodies serve as natural fertilizers." Some guards said that they should bury the bodies evenly throughout the land so it will fertilize the entire area. That is just a sick thought, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. You know, and the other thing that makes no sense is how they say they have 0 cases of CV, right? And I know that's not what this is about, but still, NK's just got some strange
by the
stuff
way,
going
some
on.
people would say, oh, well, that's because they don't allow people in. People go into NK. Even tourists go into NK. I don't think people realize that.
Especially from China.
Yeah. They have Chinese workers all over the place in NK. So if it was true that they don't have any cases, and that could be a just complete farce lie, kind of gives back to what I was saying earlier. Just saying. It's really weird. It says they buried people in the mountains. One time, a kid was peeing in the mountains and saw an arm sticking out because they forgot to cover it properly. Ugh. The thing is, this does not surprise me if it is true or if it's not. If it's totally made up, you could make up something about NK like this because it's NK. The guy literally executed one of his commanders with it was an anti-aircraft gun. The thing takes down planes. The guy's a nutso. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you are in New York and you see this, you know we are in some sort of ish. This is what the Empire State Building has been doing. This is not a joke. It says the Empire State Building reminding us that the city is in the middle of an emergency. Is this not straight out of a freaking movie? Like,
that is so creepy, Adam. When I saw that, I was like, if that was in my town or if I lived in the city, I'd be freaked out. That's creepy.
That is probably one of the creepiest things I have ever seen. And it's the Empire State Building. Empire State Building is so famous. You're talking about like King Kong, all that kind of stuff. That's nuts. How did they even do the light?
And they've always lit it up. I mean, it's been known to have different lights or different celebration type things, but this is taking it a little far.
How did they do the light though? And then it has to be on a foggy night too. Does anybody have a clear sky, by the way? Does anybody have a clear sky? It just seems to me like everybody's got bad weather. Nobody can see the actual sky. I just wonder what the heck is going on above us, especially with the whole bright sky comet. We'll talk about that on our next show. Absolutely nuts. But let's see here. I wanted to pull up this. Check this out. Okay, I'm going to turn on this. Look at this. And you don't get the scale. There's multiple videos, and just everybody comes out. Everybody's freaked out by this. And by the way, you cannot get the justice of this. There's other videos which some of them are copyrighted.
If you pause it at the very first frame or two, you can see people standing in the distance, and that gives you a little bit of an idea.
Oh no, and it is gigantic. From the sky, you can see about On another shot, there's 1,000 people circled around it. It is so epically just freaky. Why are they saying Babylon? And then it's out of a movie because it's like every end of the world movie has like, you know, like 2012, all these movies, they show other countries, you know, they'll show, in fact, in 2012, I believe they showed like the massive hail in Japan. They showed, you know, a little meteor here, geostorm. They always show the different countries, right? This one, the videos that are coming out of this, a lot of the folks, you know, are just, there's not as many people there as they are here that have cell phones and the capability to videotape stuff like this. So the videos that are there, it's like all in the same kind of crowd of people, and everybody's just like tripping out about it. People are talking about it all over the place. Some of the videos you can hear them talking like, so the governor or the policeman, the police chief's explanation is that, oh yes, and you can literally tell he's speaking to their local press or whatever. This was a government truck and there was explosives or something like this and that, and no. You can literally tell he's lying, even though when he's speaking his language and when he's speaking English, it's just like the worst lie ever. You could tell that he was just told it and couldn't remember his stuff, and he's like, Then all the experts weighed in. The experts saw that it was at a 40-degree angle. It was a huge crater. Look at the buildings a mile away. Like everything was just devastated by it. I mean, this is now, and by the way, they have now said on all sorts of places, they have now basically concluded that this, yes, was a massive meteor that hit. And that day, we were supposed to have a meteor go by and not hit us. There's been so many times recently, especially the one by Jamaica, all these asteroids that they said would miss us. They said, oh, this one's, there's going to be a big one coming by, but it will for sure miss us. That did hit. I mean, Dex, me and you have covered these several just in the last couple months.
Oh, yeah. And even some that have hit that they weren't able to detect, but they should have, and they could have after the fact.
There's been some that have passed by that were the size of the Empire State Building, but they didn't even see it until after it was too late. Look at that crater. I mean, this is just absolutely nuts. I mean, it really is. It's epic.
Police Babylon.
Police of Babylon. And you can't tell, but all the roofs just, it's so crazy. And it's a perfect crater, and it has a skid mark. I gotta show you. I gotta show you this though. I gotta Nigeria. What does this make you think about? Seriously. Look at this. There's an enter point right here.
I'm thinking Bruce Willis and Armageddon.
I'm sorry, that's not. And there was no evidence of anything buried under. There was no evidence of a boom boom. There was a loud sonic boom. No. This is nuts. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is a great one. Now, look at that. Does anybody think that that's absolutely nuts? This is so my thing on this is like, no, I would actually say Maybe this is exactly what they're doing with this entire thing, right? But I don't know. It seems like everything else is going on too. The Idaho earthquake, the weather's going crazy. Some could say that maybe something so big is coming that it's throwing off our gravity, or our core is going nuts as well. And it's got stragglers hitting the earth. Remember the Ecuador, which is just so funny. Ecuador had that fireball coming down. The gentleman, the video I put on Marfugal News. All of the missions over the last few years, the Hammer mission, every other mission that they've done that is essentially getting prepared for this, the New York simulation, them going into Cheyenne Mountain, the cover-ups. I just think it's crazy. I wonder, so they said a boxing match was... There's a few other things. We want to put it into perspective for you guys, and we want to make sure we get all of it out there. You just had to see the damage it did. It literally it was a shockwave that just blew everything apart. It blew insides out of buildings. That was not a bomb. I also wonder about Oumuamua and everything that has followed that. The second visitor from out of interstellar. What the heck is going on? I mean, even the alien thing. That's a path people have gone down. Look at that. They even have a picture of Oumuamua. The spaceship-shaped meteor that supposedly cigar-shaped meteor. Yeah, right. That came in, swooped by, and then sped up and left. Okay. Let's see. Dave 808, 2 homeless flew into Hawaii. WTF. Danish girl, thank you again for that. Ninja Genie. That fill their commissary mini marts. Dave 808, thank you again. We got a ton of people in here. Thank you guys. 5,500 people. Red in the Valley, Heaven's Calling, Obey 777, 2 Light 2, Silver Fox, Connie Easley, Don't Hate, Donate. Love it. Thank you for the lemon. And Sanchez, Grizzly 1967, Enchanted Bayou. Thank you for the lemons. Really, Robert 157, M. Menching. What if it's all the above? Virus, comet, UFO. Yellowstone. Shields up, swords out. Be prepared, says Shield and Sword. Lizzie Lou, who 84. Thank you. I appreciate that. Kelly SG1 popped up. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm just glad to see you here. Thank you so much for popping over to. Thank you for popping over to DLive. Haven't talked to you in a long time. Melanie R, Stefan Diaz, Whitney 0109, Big Bear, Lady Green Eyes, Hotwired Barb, Great Scott Captain. Man, we got so many people in here. Planet Anna, thank you so much. Greatest love. All right, and then Amy Mini 70. I know I missed a ton from you tonight. You have done the equivalent of 15 Ninja Guineas, and I am so sorry I know I missed some of them, so I'm so sorry about that. Millwood Bell, thank you so much for your contributions tonight. JR Pale Horse, Lady GT476, Dom 808. So again, I want to remind you guys, we are fixing the phone system. In fact, we're upgrading it so it's even better. It's a change that we should have made a while back. But again, we cannot take calls tonight. So I apologize that we do not have that ability. Tomorrow, not only that, but I saved it for the very end of the episode. We may be able to go live on YouTube again. But we're not giving up on DLive. In fact, we have had such a good use of it. But then again, we will actually, hopefully, as long as nothing happens, we will still be doing both. But the great news is we can actually go for short things, whatever things, on YouTube. So there are positives and negatives to both. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to use both for their positives. The Marfugal TV has grown in 3,000 or 4,000 in the last 3 weeks or something like that. And it's not because we're getting crazy views. One of the reasons too is just so many people are sharing this stuff out. So thank you guys. And then Marfugal News is growing again too. So maybe it's because no humans are at the helm. I don't know. But I did see Kishara. Thank you so much for that. Rebel Yell. Millwood Bell, thank you for donating. Homegrown USA just received a badge from Dom808. Thank you, Dom808, for coming out and supporting. Which it looks like you have just taken the number 5 spot. Thank you for being in the top contributors. Northern Tiger, Play Hard 1969, Sam, Mike, thank you all for being here. Snafu Snaps, Kelly SG1, Susan Donahue, I hope you're here. We're getting this over to YouTube very late. So I appreciate you guys so much. I am praying that, that this is not a bad thing we're doing this show. I would say please spend time with your families. If or just possibly if they have a huge earthquake that triggers Cascadia, just forget about Yellowstone. If Cascadia gets triggered by one of these big ones, we will be having a world of hurt. So just be safe, be prepared. Obviously, my tagline. Dex, do you have anything to say about this?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about the asteroid?
I've got some interesting sky things. So this happened to me the other day, and I just got a report from a family member down in southern Florida near Fort Lauderdale at the Everglades that there's that roaring jet sound that just doesn't stop. It sounds like you got a jet coming over your house, but it doesn't fly away. It just stays there. This actually happened to me at my house maybe 2 weeks ago. I didn't get a chance to record it because I just thought we have planes come over all the time. And I'm like, oh, that plane's just like, what's it doing, a loop over my house? And I went outside and there's not a plane in the sky, but there's this giant airplane.
For a long time, 5 minutes, huh?
Oh, yeah, a long time. And it didn't go away. It wasn't like it was getting further away or getting closer. It was just there.
Okay.
It was the weirdest thing. And it's happening right now at this minute in the Everglades in southern Florida near, Fort Lauderdale area out by the Everglades. That would be west of Fort Lauderdale. So I've got a report from my family member right this minute. It's happening.
Okay. So that happened to us too. So do you remember when my wife and I told you that? It was a long time.
Oh, yeah.
So now you've had it, and now somebody in Florida's had it. What is that? That's what I want to know. It's not like a normal plane. It's not like even a Dreamlifter or some crazy big 707. This is something that lasts a long time, and it's this loud noise. It's not like the hum. It's not like the mysterious thing. It's like a big plane is going over, and it's so slow that it's like 5 miles an hour, and there's nothing there. But it's so loud, and it does sound like a plane, but it sounds like the loudest plane you've ever heard, and it lasts for a very long time. Like I had time to go to the front of my house, the back of my house, the side of my house, the front, the back, the side. I'm like, where is this damn thing? You can hear it in every room of the house. And another thing, which I've been talking about, my ear is hurting like an ear infection, but it's, and then I've been getting ringing in my ears, and it's not just me. It's people all over. We're getting so many reports of this. Dex's wife said that she's been getting ringing in her ears. And it's
3
like
weeks
nonstop.
Now. Yes. 3 weeks now.
But you guys have
nonstop.
taken it serious. You guys even had to go to the doctor and stuff over it.
Yeah, and they can't find anything. They didn't say, they're like, oh, maybe it's in your head. Like, well, yeah, no kidding. It's in the head.
But she didn't
really.
know I was telling you too. I've been having it. My wife has been having it. You guys have been having it. Obviously, you guys know. A lot of people say it's 5G. I mean, it's really bad. It gives you headaches. It makes your ear hurts. I have to constantly pop my ears, like, that kind of thing. It's nuts. What the heck is going on? Everything is hitting us at the same time. I'm just, people say that, that we're fear porn or this or that. No, we're not. We talk about the crap nobody wants to talk about because they are afraid of it, but we need to talk about this stuff. We need to face our fears, period. That's another thing too. People need to face what's scary, head it off, and just go, boom, we're good now. We need to have fun. We need to love each other. You need to literally grab your family members and freaking hug them right now. More than anything. Has this not made you kind of take a... I just think about my daughters. I think about, I want to be there for them, but if it was going to end tomorrow, which, by the way, you guys need to make sure you're not talking about this in front of your kids much. If you are talking about the end of the world, or if you are thinking like that, don't talk about this in front of your kids. Tell them it's going to be all okay. You know what I mean? I've noticed even a couple of my friends, they talk about it right in front of their 4-year-olds. They think, they don't know what's going on. They do. Kids are very smart. Even though they're sitting, they're spaced off, they're, ADD, cell phone, whatever. They know what's going on. They're absorbing it, and it's freaking them out. So don't talk about it in front of your kids, but, at the same time, face it. Be positive about it, even if it was ending tomorrow. We need to do what you have to do. If you need to repent, if you need to talk to your God, if you want to send it positive vibes, we need to have fun. We need to love each other and say, pretend like it is ending in 2 weeks. Because if it doesn't, think about how grateful you are for everything you have right now, and the life you've had, and the memories you've had, and the people you've met, and the crazy things you've done. Because we all have to die at some point. Nobody wants to do it. And that's pretty immature of us. Where then there's 8-year-olds that get cancer and pass away. They didn't get to live as long as you. So be grateful if you're 9 years old and you are still alive. Let alone 50, 60, 70 years old, or 30. We are still living longer than a lot of people. So just be very thankful for everything. Let's have some fun. Imawin, thank you for being here. And Silver Fox, thank you for supporting. Underprepped 20, thank you for following. I wish I could just see the followers too. Thank you for all the new people in the channel. Thank you for all of the new followers. We're going to get to 15,000 here pretty quick. So, Copper Tropicals, thank you for gifting a 1-month subscription to users in this channel. Copper Tropicals, by the way, check out their channel. They have a very similar channel to Dutch Sense. I pretty much always just thought you guys were one and the same. But they obviously kind of work together, whatever. Gordon 707, Lucky Ticky 2, Casper Sparks, thank you. I know Dano, JFN57, Yabba Dabba Sexy, Love Pugs 05. To my YouTube crew, I'm gonna shout you out right now. Thank you guys for your support. Again, I don't know what I would do without you guys. Very special shout out to a bunch of you. I'm gonna hit my YouTube peeps. If you are in the chat, this is the shoutro. It's not a shout out. It's not an outro. It's a shoutro. It's where I say thank you to the people that matter most, you. Because without you, there would be no show and there would be no info. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will see you on the flip side. When the corona gets hard. Make a happy song when the corona gets hot. sucker, he folded too. Yeshua Shofar, Sam, Mike, and Carol Palmer. Special Carol Palmer, 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 Palmer. Oh yeah. All right. We're going to hit it up real quick. We're going to switch this up. I think you guys will remember this one. It falls on me. It falls so clean. It falls on me. It falls so clean. It falls on me. It falls so clean. This is huge, motherfucker news, and the rest of my crew. Now we got the Amy on, aka Minute 70, at the chart. Thank you for supporting me. And Millwood Bell, thank you. J.R. Pale Horse and Dom 808, thank you for being here. Of course, Lady GT 476, thank you for being a support of this. Oh, we couldn't do it without you. Da 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 da. Bonesy, rebel romance, hide like a hole. Now the chest is being popped, so you better be chat, you better be followed, cause it is really fat. Mr. Checker, Minnesota man, 44 in the Shirley Paisley, and amazing. Go to bring it on back now. Go with the Joe Dirt, Mr. Stiller G, and the Widow Whistler. For some reason, it's not alone and well in the walls. You've got the Craig Mumbo, bringing on the jumbo, doing it all day. When we do what we do, hanging out with the crew, with someone special like you, Miss Susan Donahue, we can get through this together. Team humanity, who goes strong, hashtag long, gotta go, we've gotta last all along now. Aliyah, I love you guys. Don't let 'em now with the Craig Mumble yow, and I'll bring it back like the Amber B Subaru WRX. Doing everything now you get. Chance Paladin, you are the luckiest follower tonight. Enchanted by you, lucky ticket too, and yabba dabba sexy, thank you. Hey, remember, it is the last chance for the EMP contest. Remember that. Just wanted to remind you guys, absolutely love you, but I didn't want you guys to miss out on that. Let's go to another one here. I forget which one it is. We said it this one. I don't know. No. Nope, that's not it.
They hit it back.
I don't remember this one. Nope, that's not it either. That was some weird experimental stuff. Let's see here. No, that's even more weirder. But you got Dr. Sophie on Beetle Bird Alert. Oh, there we go.
1 to the 3, 4. 4 to the 5, coming back. I dig about dick back.
No, I think we lost him. We lost him somewhere here. Aha. I think I found it. Is it this? There we go. Sylvia Mendoza and Jesus saves. Just a cab moan and Mr. Praise. Good and plenty, D squared, 13 and Carol Palmer. Cowbell it, don't tell me you lost it.
J4, 75772. Got a hanging with you. And Biggie got a thing. Mr. Dealer saved. And everybody TikTok dope. What it's gonna be back with a baby girl. Baby girl good. And pretty baby Batman get it by. And get a car. Wait for it. And bring it back. Now go. Just like Lady Lady name my kiss all angels and Sylvia Mendoza. Gonna bring it back now with Rosa. And I gotta go throw a poster. Gonna bring it out now in a microwave. And bring it back now we don't care. Barefoot laugh, thanks for the diamond. Willoughby Brown, thanks for the diamond. Big old lady, hey man, and diamond. I'm gonna bring and wait a bit of holiday.
Karma is here. I'm a Quinn. D squared, polished rock. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Stanford Shirts. Gotta bring it back. Gotta bring that Carol Palmer just like that. Hey, gotta say, happy child, girl, and one for mom. Dana Fett, and I'll bring it back. Look a little thick and a ticket too. Gotta bring it back like you never know. Gotta say back with the baby girl. Bruce Wayne and that Aura Jax. Gonna go back into this attack. This is gonna bring that channel jammer. Gonna bring back now when you know that Bama. Bring it. Yeah. Arch, just bring it. Yeah.
G4 in the yellow rip. Gonna bring back now when we take a sip. T-Square 13, bring it back. Gonna do it just like that. Hey, Miss Jackson, thanks for the 3 lemons and that posh party. Hey, Stephanie S. Hey, Stephanie S. Shout show, best part about the show. Bro, my mom love you. Hey, if my mom was here, she would love you. Momo too.
I'm about to bring it back. Coming right in like a Duchess act. Hey, be my Valentine. Oh, wait, maybe it's your Valentine. Bring it back with a James 89. For the peanut butter art, I can't see your name. Gotta say it just the same. Timmy and Whitney. I'm about to hit it back like brrr. Love you. Love you guys. Just like that on no flies. Uncomfortable with the favorable flavor and the baby girl. Twisted. On the tots, on the twisted. On the tots, on twisted. On the twisted.
Green Street 1967, Deluxe Dave's in the rest in heaven. Gonna bring it back like a mighty yaw. Gonna go back round and I fight to y'all. Gonna say Gap Daddy, gonna go Betty. Gonna go to the Reverend then. Doesn't really matter cause you gotta go stand barefoot last to that man. Gonna bring it back, do it all day. Dragging on, no dragging, go lay. Calm down, just calm down. Gonna go back down in your button down.
A lucky ticket tiger, Dodo 3, gonna back with me. Einstein's mom gonna bring it back, do it just like that. Gonna bring it back. You gonna bring that Santa Mike? We need 0109. Thanks for mentioning on board with mine. Jack and Zoe, gonna bring Chloe, gonna bring it back. Now we got to flow me. Oh, Jack and Zoe. Hey, oh, hey, Jack and Zoe. Hey, oh, hey, Jack and Zoe. Gonna bring
ching thing. Happy chappy girl gonna go and buy. You got to go and sing. CJ Blaze, Carol Palmer, 512. Gotta do what you do. Grab your bag and say hi to San Mike. You gotta do what you do when you come to do. When you calm down, it's just me. Eric Meat and a Lee King. And no, it's Eric Meat Lee King. The Ghoulish BB, you gonna see. There was one I was trying to find, but I couldn't find it. I'm just trying to find it, and I just can't find it. Is it? Obey 777.
Happy Chappy Go. Trails, trails, trails. X and X. Whitney 10109. Hillbilly, Billy, Hillbilly from YouTube. Channel, 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 channel.
Rip curl, go down and find your soul. We just wanna see the JoJo. I like me for me, and we've gotta see. Oh yeah, helping ain't easy, and no snap they see me. Bumping it with the day, bumping it with the day, T-King, I'm peeking. I'm gonna see that sunny ray sometime soon. Bumping it with the day, bumping it with the day, dragon on the girly. Gonna say it now, it's so early. Day, bumping it with the day, bumping it with the day. Calm down, it's just me. Hey, bumping it with the day. Hardwired barb, it's okay. Don't growl at me. Hey, bumping it with the day. Hey there, Lisa Curry. Hey, what is your hurry? Hey, bumping it with the day. Bumping it with the day. MK, looking for MK justice, and we're going to bring it right back down. With the day, bumping it 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 with the
Bow, 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 bow.
Dragon Girl, Firestorm, CJ Blaze, OB77 Norm. It's normal, I'm going with the sanity mind. Chance piloting on the side of the seas. The Ray Jr. gonna do what he sees fit, and the Amber Breeze of the world with the Subaru WRs. Steph and Diaz, we will do as we do. I just wanna go to Funky Town. Funky Town, the funky love it. They coming back and they be coming from above it like a Mrs. Jackson. A hot wired barb is a big weirdo zero. I'm not the hero. You go with your normal stickers. Bring it down to Navy Jab, Alice Cat, Stormy 757 do with the ID. Country 2. Kelly, I see one. Thanks for hanging on. Thank you and welcome back. Been a while now. You've got the Daft Eddie on the Funky Town. Gotta bring the sound mic and just calm down. Daft Daddy Ryan after Anna Carol Palmer. He's a she says, yeah, we need more cowbell. Touch it. Gonna bring it down and you feel it and you know that we're wrong. I'm gonna go back and Nerd of the North. Thank you for donating. Hey, make sure check out Nerd of the North.
I wish I could find that one that's, the little funky one. Is that it? No, that's not it. No. Is that it? No, that's not it either. Is this one? No, that's not it either. No. No! Just stop it. You just stop it. You just stop being stopping it.
That's on it? Uh-oh, you are in trouble. We just found it. That's not it either.
Funky do that, go and bring it back, storm me with the 7572. Gonna do what we do, gotta bring it back now. Gonna bring it back now. Gonna bring it back now. You gonna bring it back now. Gotta bring it back, do it just like that. Gonna bring the chorus, gonna bring the light, so it daylight. D-life, D-life, oh, D-life, D-life. D-life, 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 D-life.
I see light blue blood, that rough better now. And with the last super suit, I just made a sound. It's like my music, 30 my music, that life of it on the outside, stand it, 30 from the back there. You made it from the back there. Out of fear, I stand right there, slam, out of fear. But that's a saving us, save it, made it from the back there, made it to black, right there, but they're being a screwed. In the time, made it from the back there, and I do believe my fear. Mama do, mama do, mama do, mama do. Mama do, 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 mama do, mama do. Mama do, 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 mama do. 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 Do, 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 mama do.
Now we've got to go, running with the Poco Loco, doing it all day with that Bruce Wayne. Gonna bring back and we all insane, but it doesn't matter cause it's the end. Oh no, no, we've gotta spend that time with family and our friends. Gotta do it like it's never bending. Now you see, you know that. Gotta bring it back like you are me. Right? Tough Daddy, gotta bring it back. See how the starlight, see it light. Everything to me like sand to Mike.
I just wanna go back, yabba dabba sexy, bring it right on back.
Daft it, going back home where we gotta rock steady like that. Whitney, oh, got to go insane. Gonna baby without a babe, oh, you got to say. Annie, thank you for hanging out with our crew. Steffi, thank you for everything you do.
I'm about to go. About to head out, and here's how you get into our Discord. Gonna go back, gonna say like that, yabba dabba sexy, thanks God.
If you could hear the beef, I know.
Oh, there it is.
Hear the beef, I know. If you could hear the beef, I know. If you could hear the beef, I know. If I did it, dip it down, down, down. Down, ba deep, down, down, down. Down, ba deep, down, down. Down. No, is it? No, it does. If you could hear the beef, I know. If you could hear the beef, I know. If you could hear the beef, I know.
You want to know what's going on? What's really going on when it happens? Go to marfugelnews.com and get Marfugel alerts along with a Discord invitation where you can find your local